guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Monday, August 16th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Good to see everybody. Got some new things I want to show you tonight as promised, and I will be working on a new project too. So that'll be fun. Okay, so welcome to all my Facebook peeps who come in and chat. Hi, Ashley. Good to see everybody. And welcome to my Facebook lurkers who watch but don't chat, and that's okay. Put this in on the background on your device and listen and laugh and enjoy, or watch. And watch. And anytime you wish to comment, drop in and do. Also, welcome to my YouTube peeps. So what happens is I'm live for 3 hours. It goes to video on Facebook. And then it goes to video on YouTube where I upload it. Hello, Sandy. Okay, so I've got a little bit more to do on the project that I've been showing you. Hello, Julie. Little camera adjustment there. And then, like I said, I'm going to be starting a new project with a new technique. Ashley, let me know what they are, please. That way I can tell you whether I have them or not, and I can go ahead and let you know. And then I'll put them on my wish list. Thank you, Ashley. Oh my gosh. How sweet. Thank you. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Sandy. Pearly. Mary. So does that work for you, Ash? I know it, won't come as a surprise, but that way we can... Oh, cool. Oh, cool. All right, Ashley, so that's the book that you want to send? Yeah, anytime you want to do that, just send me, when you send the link, just say, I want to send this to you, how do I do that? Or send it to the group. How cool is that? And I think I know the book that you're talking about. Okay, guys, Christmas florals finishing up. Hello, Autumn. I'm going to be showing you a new technique, so we got a fun, busy night. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to be working on with the new technique. Oh, Ashley, I so appreciate you. Thank you. I love to get my mitts on new books for the group. Okay. Not much more to go on this. And then, like I said, I've got a new technique. Rhonda, hello. Hello, hello. I think you're going to like this new technique that I'm going to show you. Excuse me, gosh. Remember I posted this and asked you if you wanted to learn how to do it? I got a buglet running around on my page. Poor little guy. Isn't that cool? So I'll show you how I did this, and we'll have some fun with that. Okie dokie smoky. All right. So let me finish up this real quick. Well, not real quick, but you know what I mean. You know, guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I really do. I hate asking for stuff. I mean, I buy 90% of the stuff for the group, but sometimes it just gets a little bit beyond me. So that's when I'll put out a request. And for people like Ashley, if you see a book that you think that the group would enjoy, let me know. I'll let you know if we have it, and then we'll go from there. Hello, 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 Wanda. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple things. First of all, on this background, let me show you this. I want you to notice how there's a pattern now of darker wood. Everybody see that? So what I'm going to do after I adjust my light a little bit, oh, and that reminds me, I'm going to be putting up a tutorial on how you guys can take pictures with your smartphones and make your submissions look really good. Hi, Tammy. Most of you are doing great with it. But I need to give you those steps. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Rita from Guatemala. And now is in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Oh, I can't see her yet, but you guys are already saying hello, so. We're so proud of Wanda and her success with getting chosen for that cover on the back. Okay, so here's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to take a Tammy, tomorrow is your surgery. Refresh my memory. What are we doing on the surgery? Did you tell us? I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, because you know I'm going to pray for you. Hello, Dorothy. Bone spur in your right heel. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they'll just knock that off and you will be doing really well. Okay, guys, let's take a moment. I'm so glad that you can get that in now with COVID ramping up. So we're going to take a moment and pray. Lord God, in the holy name of Jesus Christ, we lift Tammy Myers to you. She's having surgery tomorrow. They'll knock off that little spur, and she is going to love the result after she heals. Lord God, we pray that she's in the right hands. It will go smoothly and quickly. I'm sure it's outpatient surgery. And that everything will go as planned. We thank you, God, for your attention, your mercy, and that the doctors will do really well tomorrow. In the holy name of Jesus Christ, amen. All right. So what I want to show you now, Tammy, you're covered. Amen. 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 Lilies of the Field. It's a great movie. Watch it. Sidney Poitier. Okay. So, as I said, I got looking at the pattern on the wall. And I'm going to enhance that just a little bit. Hello, Angela. Angela Campbell. Thank you, Tammy. Okay. So this is the kind of stuff I want you to keep your eyes open for. Is that if you're looking at something and you see a really cool pattern, like if you're doing wood, and if you decide that you want to enhance that little puppy, have at it. Thank you, Tammy, that you are enjoying this picture. And I can't wait to show you the new method. Angela is cooking porridge for her breakfast. Yeah. Angela is in, Australia. She's an Aussie. By the way, Angela, JoJo is an Aussie. Helen Elliston is from the UK. And none of them are having broadcasting issues. So just to let you know that, to help you pin down what's going on when you're watching. We don't want to lose you, kiddo. Okay. Now, remember when I got that red on my image here? By accident? Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Yeah, talk to JoJo about her broadcast. So remember I got that red on, which is now showing up again. And I took my Arteza white pen and covered it. And I made it part of the wall splotch. So I'm going to make it part of the wall splotch again. Tammy, you're welcome. And when you've got your bandage on your foot and you're sitting in your bed or your couch, you can still watch the broadcast. I'm assuming your surgery is scheduled for first thing in the morning, right? Like I said, I am so glad that you're still able to get in. Those bone spurs on the heel are incredibly painful. Oh my gosh, guys, it gets to the point that you can't even hardly walk. And I know that from personal experience. Okay, so I tapped on the pen here to cover that up. I'll let that dry. And then I will go over it with a marker carefully. And I'll just dab the marker on there. Oops. Okay, so let's continue with the brown. Zoom out. Alright, now what I want to show you is this pattern just showed up as I was looking at it. So I'm just going ahead and I am capitalizing on it to make that wood look really cool. Hello, Kathy. Now, zoom out. Zoom out. Everybody notice now how I've got a really nice rich pattern here? And I'm not going through and coloring everything. You just pick your spots. I'm using the side of my pencil. Angela says, yes, I've had bunches of heel spurs too. Most painful things. Mine were removed in a sports clinic. Hold on, let me look here. He used a little wooden rolling pin and crushed them, scraped me off the ceiling after. Oh my gosh. Angela, how long ago was that? Oh. Good grief. Okay, see how this darker brown is working its way beautifully into here? Now, you don't have to follow every single little wave here. Use your judgment, don't get stupid about it. About 8 years ago, both feet were done a second time 3 weeks later. Oh my gosh. Good grief. Anybody have any questions about how I'm doing this little puppy? Now, again, if you don't want to add this, extra, if you like your colors, but when I was looking at this, it just presented itself that it got that little wiggle in there, and I thought, I'm going for it. This spot right here, I'm going to close that off. Cool. And again, remember, you don't want to get into an obvious pattern, okay? Meaning, okay, let me restate, an obvious repetitive pattern, if you can help it. All right. He's making 2 incisions, taking a ligament out of your leg to put in your foot. Okay. So he's not going to file down that bone spur or whatever they do, cut it, chip it, file it. Did you ask him about that? Okay, so now that I have put in this brown, I'm going to take a little bit of gray, not black, right? Not black. Okay, so he'll file it down as well. Be in a cast for 5 weeks. 1 foot at a, is it 1 foot or 2? All right, now watch. I'm going to take this dark gray, zoom in, and this little V that happened to come up with the side of my pencil, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. Now again, like I said, don't get stupid with your highlights and, you know, go overboard and the whole bit. I think we're good. Zoom out. Now, like I said, my only regret in drawing these lines, what did I say about this line on this package? Somebody tell me. Okay. Oh, come on. Somebody must remember what I told you about this line. Too even with the board. Thank you. Yeah. This line runs exactly across the top of the package. Now, it's not a fatal mistake, but hindsight being 2020, I mean, I was measuring down, and that's why it just happened to hit exactly. Notice over here, it's coming out partway through. So just be aware of stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to take a second. Oh, no, I'm not. Hold on. So I need somebody to tell me something fun. Tell me something good that happened to you today. Zoom in. Okay, now hopefully I didn't wait, or hopefully I waited long enough. But what I'm doing right now is I'm taking a water-based marker . Julie says she got her QL-C120 today. What does that mean? Mary got a new TV stand. It is farm style, cool. Cabinet with glass frame doors. And Julie C says, and I have tomorrow off, so if Hub leaves me alone, I can color. Okay, everybody see how I'm fixing this? So I put the white on, I let it dry hopefully long enough, and then I dabbed it with marker. Zoom out. And then I carried the dark stuff over a little bit to make it look like it was part of the whole shebang. So that's where I got some red on there by mistake. I do that a lot. Oh, QL-C120 is a set of pencils, and it's a white box with a unicorn on it. I gotcha. Okay, I need you guys to sit tight for 1 second. You're going to hear some clacking. I'm going to spray the top third of this. Hold on. Because basically I'm done. But I want to add something to there and I want to show you. So don't forget I use the Krylon Workable Fix Stiff. It's got the 1306 on it. I love it. Be careful when you use it. Lots of ventilation. Outside is best. Okay, so while that dries, zoom in. Now I'm going to take my Arteza and make a little alteration. I don't know if I really should tell you why. Because maybe it's just me that has this problem. Oh yeah. So this bell here, zoom in, looks to me like a bird flew by. So I'm going to fix the way the white's on there. Maybe it's just me. Did anybody else have any problem with that, or was it just me? Okay, I feel better about that. All right. So I fixed that bell, and this is what I'm doing now really is what I normally do in my tweaking stage, but that bugged me, so I wanted to fix it, and I had to fix this little top up here, and I wanted to show you how to do that. Hello, Jean. Yay, Jean. Zoom out. Anybody with you? Zoom out. Okay. So the reason that I wanted to spray this is because I got something so cool, and I hope you like it. So it's dollar store. I bought these little stick-ons. And I thought that one of these would look really cute on this. So right now I see this one that says Cherish the Little Things. Jean says not right now. Okay, so you're by yourself. Jean, how are you doing? Obviously you're feeling good enough to come in and visit and watch. And I'm going to take this little Cherish the Little Things, and I think up here it's going to look the best. Now, I have another one here. You guys need to tell me what you think. So I have Love and Cherish, and I have Cherish the Simple Things. So that could go, it's going to run, well, yeah, that'd work. Which one do you like best? Do you like that one at the top? Or would you like this one in the upper right-hand corner? I'm leaning towards the one on the top. Sandy says top. Oop. Angela C says top. Oh, you just came home from having a back procedure. Okay, how are you feeling? I'm so delighted, Jean, to see you. Just sit back and relax, please. Are you up to staying for a while? Stephanie says she ordered peanut brittle. Yeah. 8:40. First comment about food. Excuse me, 7:40. Okay, so dollar store. I'm going to add it on to here. So I'll put it low enough, zoom in. I'll put it low enough that the tippy toppy here just goes to the top of the page. And that'll dictate how much of my wreath is going to be behind it. So let me go ahead and, oops, peel this off now. And remember that I always tell you to take off the whatever they put on as a sticky. Let's see something here. Actually, actually, I'm going to leave that sticky on there because it's paper that it's stuck to, so I'm confident that it'll stay there. But you know, like on my wood ladybugs and bees and stuff like that, and they've got the little round stickies, I always tell you to pull them off and use glue. Gemstones, even though they got sticky, use glue. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue on the back of the sticky. And I'm going to align it in the center of the page. Yeah, that looks good right there. And I'll swirl it around just a little bit. And then that'll stick. Now, the reason that I'm doing this Yeah, Dollar Tree has a lot of these and they're $1 a pack. Exactly. And notice now, because I used a little sticky on there, I left a little white thingy. That's a term, a white thingy. Is that now looks really cool on the whole thing. Zoom out. Zoom out. Now, notice that I sprayed my piece first and then I put this on. And one of the reasons I did that is when you have inexpensive pieces like this, you don't know if the Krylon is going to do funky things to the, yes, and Ashley says Walmart scrapbooking aisle has a bunch of 97 cents. I've used those as well. So I hope when you saw this, you guys went, "Aw." There you go. And this is perfect because we're doing vintage. And so the vintage simple. Okay. So let's go ahead and, no pun intended, wrap up these packages and the poinsettia. So are you guys happy with this piece? And more importantly, are you learning something from it? We talked about a lot of coloring techniques on it. And again, I'm not looking for your compliments, although they are appreciated. I'm looking for, do you like it, and do you feel you could do something like this? And even if you don't like it, did you learn from the techniques that I showed you? Sandy says she's trying the wood background. Okay. Come in light when you start, remember, right? Let the pattern and colors develop for you. And for my new people that are watching, this is why I tell you, quit getting frustrated with your things early on. I've had people tell me that they didn't necessarily like or were not enthused about the picture that I chose to demonstrate on it, and then after the fact have told me, wow, that looks really great. And if you have any questions, speak up. That's why I'm live. Okay. Marker pen. And don't forget, Sandy, what I've always said, if you have any problem with it, don't get frustrated. If you've never done it before, zoom in. Okay. So Angela says, I'm coloring a pic in the Adorable Animals. It has 2 kittens and a birdhouse. I think I know the one you're talking about. Inside, there is a wood panel wall and a tiled floor. Cool. Zoom in. No, not out. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. Red water-based marker. It happens to be the Ohuhu. Now, don't forget that in the center of your poinsettia, if you're going to put a lighter color, Stephanie says, tell me I'm crazy when I get a book, always start on the very first page. Good for you. That if you're going to add, when you're working with your markers and you're going to add a light center, keep that area open. So you can either keep your area open or because actually I decided to do that after the fact. Start with your lighter color. Ashley says, if I can't decide on a page, I'll start in the beginning. Yeah, there you go. And I want to start hearing that you're picking, everybody's starting to pick pages that are going to challenge them. Get out of your coloring rut, guys, because if you don't, you will never, ever progress your skills. Sandy says she's got some Arteza pencils and she loves them. Yeah. Ooh, I feel good tonight. I feel good. And everybody's saying, uh-oh, ILene's gonna get wonky. Too late, ILene already is wonky. Oh, is that a pretty color? And guys, don't be shy. Ash says she's using Arteza now. So far, so good on Jade Summer paper. Yep. If anybody has a suggestion for the group, have at it. Okay, I'm going to take my lighter pink and blend in now that lighter spot in the center. And then be sure to wipe off your marker from the extra red. Sometimes I forget to do that. Okay. Sandy says she got them new and cheap off of the Mercantile. Macari. Okay. Just make sure they're not counterfeits. Okay, so I've got my red on the outside here. And I'm going to swirl blend the edges with my pink and then immediately clean off my pen. marker. Isn't that cool, guys? That color. And you guys know that I'm really big on explaining why I do something. That's my whole teaching method. For new people, I have a master's degree in adult education. And my style is to explain as I go along. And a lot of you have contacted me privately and told me that you really like that. So I don't just tell you what I'm using, I tell you why. Okay, let me zip around here. Zip, 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 zip. Zoom in. If I get too close or I'm too far away, say something. If my music is too loud, say something. If something about a particular track that I play bothers you, say something. Can you use different colored markers on top of each other? Sure. You can blend them. Yeah. That's what I'm doing right here is I put the red on top of the pink. And then I'm mixing it. I am. And guys, if you're ever not sure about being able to mix a media or experiment with something, get a piece of paper and off to the side, draw a shape, anything, and have at it. Now don't forget, the close-up view is going to look a little wonky. Now notice some of the paper is coming up, so you got to be careful. See how I'm getting little chunks? See that on my marker? I'm getting little, there you go, little chunks of paper. That's your paper's way of saying knock it off. Can you guys tell I'm in a good mood? Zoom out. How can you find out if a product is counterfeit? It's hard. You need to look at the printing on the pencil and compare it with other ones. Counterfeits tend to have a lower quality. Let me find something that's got an end on it. You need to look and see if things like the core of your pencil are centered, like this one on the Fila. You need to look at the printing on the box. And if you have problems with the product, like it's not coloring correctly, that could potentially be part of the issue. In a past life, My husband, my then husband at the time, and I were both engineers, testified before Congress about counterfeit bolts. You know, the kind that go into putting things together, especially in the military. It's a huge problem. Zoom in. Okay, now I'm going to take my red marker, watch this, and while it's still wet, I'm going to put my tip on here, and then I'm just going to touch it with my finger and drag in a little bit. Now, this is going to look a little wonky close up. Let me turn. And we'll go ahead and put a little tip on there. Now, the reason that you're able to smear your markers like this is because we have a Krylon base on it. Remember when I first started? I put the Krylon on it. This is why I do it. Now, Wanda, she doesn't use Krylon on her base. Some people do, some people don't. Wanda is not a marker enthusiast. Oh my gosh, excuse me. And Wanda, if I'm saying something and I'm incorrect, correct me, please. Or anybody else. Oh, that looks so pretty. Boop, 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 boop. Zoom out. That's all right. I'm working on Wanda. It took me a long time to get her to go into grayscale. Love you, Wanda. Oh, Wanda, I'm just so proud of you. Doggone it. Wanda, I want you to bask. Bask in people congratulating you. That is so cool on that cover, the back cover. Okay, now see how I'm going ahead and let me see something here. Hold on, I gotta move the camera. All right, hold on. Okay, we all still here? My bad. Zoom in. Zoom in. All right. Okay, now again, it looks rough. Zoom out. Do, 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 do. But this is why I'm going ahead and smearing this with my finger to help with that transition. So you got to get your fingers into your work, see? That's why I get little spots on my pages and then I have to come up with creative ways to cover them. Okay. Zoom out. I love how that looks. Christmas. Sherry, you get your Wi-Fi straightened around so you can be here more? Okay, I'm taking a Q-tip. It's not a Q-tip, but I call it that. These are the ones that have the pointy and the flat little paddle on them. I guess I'm just going to have to call them a swab. And I'm going to go ahead and hit that water-based marker with the swab. And the reason you can get away with that is because you've got that Krylon fix tip on it. So Sherry, are you getting everything straightened around now so that you can get consistent Wi-Fi and, you know, coverage and all that stuff? Okay. Oh, that looks so cool. Zoom out. Zoom out. Angela, I got them on Amazon. But be careful what you buy, because one time I accidentally got swabs that had 2 pointies on it. But that's okay, I'll use them. You're still waiting on our trailer to get here. Okay, so you're moved. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Now, one of the things that you'll notice that I do is that I spend time on each element. And when I spend time on each element and just don't slap down some coloring pencil, this is the kind of stuff you get. So this is my style, and this is how I teach. I'm just going to mix this a little more. And one of the things that I always do now is with very rare exception, is I will finish a page. We're in the house, but our stuff is not. That's kind of funny. Okay, now let's add a little bit to this. I know I've got to get back to that. I will. I'll bling her up. You better believe it. Zoom in. Now, if you want to play with the poinsettia a little more, I'm going to go ahead and add a black tip on probably some of them. We'll see how it looks. And we had a real nice demonstration of how you can take Ranger liquid pearls and paint it onto something and make that something look shiny. Zoom in. Okay, see how I'm adding little touches of black, so maybe I'll put it on the tip and then pull it down the side just a little bit. Black pen. This is my Pilot G2. And I'm even going to carry that black down the side of a couple of the leaves, which is making it look really cool, in my opinion. And again, if this isn't your cup of tea, that's fine, but remember the method. And what's happening now, by bringing that black down with the pen, of all things, we're getting dimension on it. Everybody see that? There we go. And to my new members, if you say something and I don't respond to you, it's just that I just missed it because I got my nose in the coloring at the moment. So don't be shy about repeating it. And my other peeps have been very helpful. Truly, some reds are so dark they are almost black. Exactly, Sherry. You are, yep, spot on. Okay, I'm going to take, let me see. Hold on a second. I've got Pilot G2 in a light green like this, and I've got it in a dark green. And I love my G2's pens for details. Now, on the other poinsettia, I used liquid pearls. On this one, I'm going to use the pens. Zoom in. So there's my light green. Yeah, the G2 pens are great. And here's my dark. Zoom out. Zoom out. Let's see, I got a little one at the right here too. There we go. So that is now done. And some people who are in this group are surprised about the mixed media that I use on my pages. I have no problem with it as long as it's, yeah, it does look like dark gray, and red. Okay. Let's get this holly colored in, and don't forget, I'm going to be showing you a whole different method tonight. Zoom in. Tidy up my area a little bit. I'm using a Master Color 389 on this. And for my new members, I keep my pencils by color, not by brand. So I do mix brands. Most play well with each other. Never had any really big problem with it. I'll work on calling out my brands a little better, but I don't get hung up on brand. I get hung up on how the color looks to me. Aren't you guys proud of me? I actually colored from left to right. All right, we got a little doobie on there, but that's okay. We'll try and cover it with the green. Yeah, I can turn it down, Angela. Sure. Here we go. I know that some of you have hearing aids. We have all sorts of age groups in here, and sometimes that music can bother your hearing aid. You got to let me know. And if you're embarrassed to say anything in the group, send me a text. I've got an Apple Watch, so I'll see it. Angela, is that low enough? Of course I don't mind, Angela. I may just eliminate that one track altogether. Okay, so we've got our holly in here. I'm going to put a nice light shade of green on it. A bit more, okay. I just took it down another notch. Let me know if that level's good for you. I think it's that one tune. Let me know, Angela, if that's good for you. Let me see something. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I've deleted that track altogether. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Guys, I don't accept apologies in this room unless you're being snarky. Then I'll just eliminate you. I want everybody to be comfortable and enjoy it. Yeah, I think it's the pitch. I agree, Rhonda. Okay, see how I've got that nice green on here? Okay, notice how I'm adding the slightly darker green down the center on my pieces here. Zoom out. Yeah, I can keep the creaking boat company. Okay, I noticed here, let me see something here. I've got a little berry here that wasn't complete, so I just completed that. Now, it's up to you how you want to shade your holly, and this is where I would encourage you to go to Google and look at pictures and check out colors. Okay. For those of you that don't have the pen colors, zoom in. Zoom in. I'm going to go ahead and use a red pencil here on these guys. This is a Prisma 924. I like this red. Now, these little berries are so tiny that they're a little hard to use multiple colors on and multiple shades of color. So I'm going to do two things with this. Because I still want to dress it up a little bit. Let me grab my pen. I'm going to take my, these are Pilot's pens as well. Pilot G6. And hopefully I'm close enough. Zoom in. Zoom in. And I'm going to go ahead and add a black dot. And I want you to notice that I'm not putting that dot in the center all the time. I'm moving it around. And this black dot will really help you on any of your little berries. I've got two of them here that are buried. B-U-R-I-E-D. And I've got one here that I think actually should have been the carpet, but I'm now making it a berry. That evil laugh. Zoom out. Zoom out. And then these are the times where I see on my humongous monitor spots where I've missed the blue. Oh, I just love my coloring. I was going to say job, but my gosh, this is not a job at all. I'm having too much fun. Okay. Zoom out. Let's look at this. What do you think? Okie dokie smoky. Ribbon on 3 packages, and then we are done. Zoom out. Zoom out. So here's where we are so far. PDC, pretty darn cute. Or TSC, too stinking cute. Good stuff. All right, let's get some bows done and ribbon done, and we'll wrap all this up. Pun intended. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Wanda, you mentioned a color on that gray package last night. Somebody throw a color at me real quick. Let's see what we got here. That dot ribbon does not thrill me, but hey, maybe that was the sign of the times on this one. Vintage. Vintage. All right, let me clean this up. turquoise with yellow dots. Interesting. All right, Wanda's having another victory. She finally finished sorting, swatching, adding numbers, stickers, and putting them all in order in their new home, her bread funners. Three pencil cases, all $5.20. You still think green? Yeah, I think I appreciate the turquoise and the yellow, but we need to go with vintage style. Yep. Zoom in. Yeah, Sherry says, oh yes, I got my 520 Brett funner at my new house. Victory, victory, victory. Oh, so anyway, back to why I finished my pictures is because a lot of you will follow along or want to see the complete technique or want to see how the complete thing looks. And so I have been specifically asked to finish the projects that I start. Zoom out. And this is a Fila Pale Green 068. So do you guys prefer it when I call out pencil brands and colors? Let me know. Okay, let's get the package in there. Pearl, oh, Pearl says yes. Stephanie says yes. Kathy says yes. Uh-oh. I do, or at least color. Okay. Linda says yes. Well, smack me on the side of the head. ILene, get with the program. Okay. I will work very hard to call them out. Angela had to leave to answer a phone call. Not sure what I missed. Angela, I asked if you guys preferred that I call out the brand, you know, the brand and the color, number, name, whatever. And everybody says yes. Okay. Fine, be that way. I will, I will. So is that a yes, Angela, that you prefer that I, yes, call out the pencil? Okie dokie. I will make a sacrifice, and I will try and do that. Yeah, I just got to get into the habit, guys, for you. Oh, is that pretty? Well, gee, guys, tell me how you really feel. And I'll tell you what, let's do this. If the music is too loud and you guys are embarrassed about saying anything, just type in the word music and I will take care of it. My wood looks wonky, but I'm hoping it works out. Your wood is going to look wonky. Talk to me about it when you finished it. There we go. So I'm working my way around these little dots. Oh, that looks pretty. There we go. Zoom out. So I think, let's see what we can do with this. Okay. I'm going to use the Starjoy teal green light color 054. Oh, okay, Angela, so you had to make another medical appointment change. Okay. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I'm going to put this color on here. Again, I want a muted look. Now, Starjoys are very soft, tend to be a little waxy. Melva says these are not her favorite because she has problems blending them. Just letting you know. And again, welcome to all my new people. If you don't color and you're just watching for the company, very, very glad to have you here. Oh, Angela, you've got to go? Okay. Angela, how is your internet feed tonight? Was it better? And thank you for letting us know that you're stepping out. Always appreciate it when my active people tell me that they're going out of the room. Good night, Miss Angela. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Zoom out. Let's take a look at this. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Sherry, I'm so glad to see that you're able to connect tonight. Doggone it. Now, the nice thing about using similar, compatible, or close colors like this is that as I'm coloring these circles, if you go over the edge a little bit, which actually is okay because we want to, you know, mute that dark line, it doesn't screw up your original color. Oh, how pretty. All right. Now, if you have any areas that your pencil is a little bit rough and didn't go in, I sharpened my blender pencil. So I've got a nice point on here. And I'm just very quickly blending the green. And conversely, or in addition, if I missed any spots on the blue where there's some white showing, I just push that over with my pencil. Zoom out. Not too shabby. Now, I told you last night, after I put my liquid pearls on, I would go ahead and try out some gray on here. And that's not going to work. Zoom in. Zoom in. And I'll show you why. Zoom in is because it just pulled up. See that edge right there? It just pulled up that layer. Zoom in. Everybody see that little piece that came up? Film. So I'm just going to cut that out and take a gray pencil and just do a careful repair on it. And you and I both know it's there, nobody else does. Okay? And this is why I keep telling you, quit fussing over little accidents or mishaps. Now, if I were posting about this in the room, in the group, I would explain the error. I would say, had a little mishap in the upper right hand corner, yada, 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 yada. That's because I'm teaching. Now, what I ask that you do is to do the same thing and just say, hey, had a little mishap, this is how I fixed it. Zoom out. Zoom out. You've got to quit fussing over little oopsies. Let's see here. There we go. So that now tells you that if you try to do anything on top of your liquid pearls, it could potentially peel up on you. But don't let that stop you from trying. See what works. Zoom out. No biggie. Okay. I still think that package needs something, I'm not sure. Ooh. Zoom in. Zoom in. I'm going to go ahead and just put a little white on there. Oh, there we go. All right, let's get these other two bows done. Zoom out. And remember, guys, if anything, there's 2 points about this white. If anything looks wonky after it dries, peel it off. Scrape it off, it comes off. Second, if the color comes through on the pen, that either means that you put it on too early, or, well, to fix it is you just let it dry and then go ahead and put another layer on there. Or just scrape it all off. One of our peeps, you'll have to refresh my memory, had a problem with the pink showing through, and they actually ended up taking it all off. No big deal. Okay. So let's get these two bows wrapped up. Let me grab something here. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my ink pens. This actually here is called a Precise V5 Pilot pen, and it's got a really nifty teeny tiny point. Now, zoom in. You could use your markers on here as well. I actually did not know that these were available. They were gifted to the group. Oh, see, I've never used them before, Steph. Oh, and by the way, this theme that's playing, I did find out that that is the Forrest Gump. Didn't know that. Ooh, that is pretty. Yeah, they're not gel. I figured that they weren't, that they were just regular ink pens. Okay, this is gonna get teeny tiny. Now, we've only got 2 stripes here, so there's a consistency problem. Hate that when the artist does that, but we'll work around it. And the way I'm going to work around that is I'm going to put the orange on one side and the orange on the other side, and even though I still have that stripe down the middle, that keeps the pattern. And they did it on this side too, so excuse my hand. And look how beautifully this is coming out. And we got the same problem here. So I'll leave that stripe. What do you guys think of this? Let me turn that. And let me turn this again. Oh, Sherry, good night, good night, good night. I'm so glad your internet connection was stable enough that you could come in. See you tomorrow, sweetie. So glad you're back. Now, I'm not going to worry about depth and dimension on this because it's flat ribbon paper. It's flat paper. So I'm not going to worry about making these stripes dimensional. Zoom out. Zoom out. Good night, lovelies. Right back at you, sweetie. I think that striped paper looks fantastic. I'm not even going to touch that middle color. How cute is that? Okay, one more bow and then I'm on to the new technique. Bow, bow, bow. And again, new color. Whether I use them or not, I'm going to pick up a light, a medium, and a dark. Zoom in, zoom in. So on this little guy, this will be my light color. Now, sometimes I blend at this point and sometimes I don't. It just depends what I'm doing. And at the moment, I'm not inclined to blend. I'll show you why. So the color that's going on right now is what will be my light. And then I'm going to pop over to my dark after I sharpen my point. Now ideally, if you can blend with your pencils, that's what I just said. It's ideal. So this particular pencil is in my extender. It is a Fila 058. And my light orange was Brett Funner, called Autumn Glory. So remember what I told you about the edges? And coloring right over that line, and that sets the tone for you to blend in. Good night, Miss Kathy. So remember, when you color over those lines, that sets the tone for how you need to blend your color in. And the reason that we color over the lines is because you don't see, for example, bows with black lines on them. But obviously the artist has to draw them in. To make the picture. So I've got my light, here's my medium. I'm sorry, this is my dark. And this is where your grayscale coloring training is going to kick in, because imagine this being a grayscale, and wherever I'm coloring, these are your darkest points, right? Right. Okay. And now I'm going to come in with my medium orange. Everybody see how pretty that bow is starting to look? And the medium, I'm going to work in teeny tiny little circles. Zoom in. Teeny tiny little circles to get rid of that line that my dark color is starting to produce. And I'm still leaving my very center, my lightest color. Everybody see the technique? So I'm using my medium color like a blending pencil. Oops, I forgot to do that. Tail on the right, excuse me. Hold on, I gotta sharpen this, the point's breaking. There we go. Okay, so my dark on the outside. And then I'll come in a little with my medium, which is, like I said, the Fila, the Autumn Glory. And my lightest color was the Fila Nasturum. I gotta show you this name. Nasturtium. And by the way, these numbers on these Brett Funners are so small, it's not even funny. It says R22. They are teeny, teeny, tiny. I don't know why they made them so small, but they did. Hopefully people are writing the company and saying, hey. Okay, now, if you want to, zoom out. Zoom out. You can go ahead and hit your light area with a little bit of white. I am barely pressing. And remember that white is coloring over the yellow. So don't get too crazy with it. But I'm using just enough of it to blend my edges. Zoom out. Yeah, Wanda went through and put big number stickers on hers, she says. Isn't that ridiculous how teeny tiny they made those numbers? Oh my gosh, that was, what? Like, why? Okay, so Arteza pen. A little bit of the white shine on here. And I want to show you something. I decided that the white shine on my other piece, I don't like it. So take your fingernail or the blunt side of your X-Acto and scrape off what you don't like. All right. Zoom out. I am calling this puppy done. Zoom out. I'm going to back roll it here a little bit. Zoom out. Good night, Pearly. Stick around 2 seconds and see this finished piece. There you go. We good? I'll tweak it afterwards. Thank you, Linda. Hi, Linda. Linda Hirschenroder. Now, I'll do this later, but if you want to take a little bit of Scotch tape and back roll it, make a little roll with it, and stick it up in there and put that on there. But make it thick enough that you don't tape the very ends to the, you know, it still leaves that height. So I'm happy with this. Oh my gosh, guys, wait a minute. Hold on, we got one thing that's not done. I just saw it. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. The cords to the bells. So Pearly says it's always great to look in the morning just to see my tweaking. Yeah. Pearly, you have a wonderful evening. Oh man, is this pretty. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, now I'm going to take one of my turquoise Pilot G2s and I'm going to, let's see if I get the effect I want. Ink stopped coming out, hold on. Sometimes they do that, they'll start to write and then they'll stop. So you gotta bounce them against the hard surface to jog the ink down. Okay, so I'm gonna take my dark G2 pen and I'm going to go ahead and color on spots, not the whole thing, but on spots of the chords. So what happens is you get some lighter spots and you have darker spots, segments I should say. Don't forget, because remember when I told you that if you vary the color and the intensity on your pieces, That makes them really look cool. And in the areas that I did not put that pen, I'm going to sharpen my white pencil and put in a little bit lighter. And the only purpose of that is to change the shading. Everybody get that? And what that does is that it makes your cord look a lot more dimensional. Okay? You don't have to make the segments very long. Zoom out. Zoom out. Calling this one done, guys. Okay, I hope you had fun watching it. I really enjoyed doing this one. So I'm going to brush it off, and if you don't mind, I'm going to take 2 seconds to spray it, and then we're going to work on our next project. All right. Any questions or comments, critiques? Would you use these methods to color? Did you learn something? Ooh, hold it, guys. We forgot one more thing. Hold on, hold on. You guys are asleep at the switch. Zoom in. Zoom in. We didn't flock our wreath. So let me do that real quick. At least our sales clerk wasn't asleep at the switch and forgot to flock it, right? Don't need much. Let me catch that real quick. And can somebody tell me why I'm flocking both sides of the wreath? Instead of just the one side. Okay, so part of this is under the package now. Because it's on the ground, right? So both sides technically have been exposed to the snow. Now, again, I know that this is an indoor thing. It's not really outdoor. There's no snow indoors. But it gives a neat illusion. And you as the colorist have thought about that. The viewer won't think anything of it, but will say, wow, that looks really cool. Right? Now, if you don't have the Arteza pen, you can use acrylic paint. You could use whiteout in a jar and use some of that goop on it. Doggone, this is pretty. Use anything white that you can get your hands on. Like I said, the white correction fluid will work. Any port in a storm, right? Here we go. I like it. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Now, when that dries, because I'll be doing my other project, when that's done, I'll spray that little corner again to get this white pen covered, and then it won't chip off as easily. Okay. Say goodbye to the sled, guys. It's done. And like I said earlier, if I hadn't gone ahead and put the carpet in and had actually put an outdoors ground down there, I would have put some white on these boards in the cracks and crevices to Stephanie says bye-bye, to show some snow, or maybe even put a little shape of a snowball splat. So there's some ideas. I almost did that, but I thought, you know, oh man. I feel this turned out well. I hope you like it. I hope you learned something. All right, let me grab some water. Let me grab some water. Say bye. Okay, say hello. I'll tell you what, you guys are getting a lot tonight for your money. Okay. So I promised you I would show you how I got this effect down here. It's so much fun. It really is. So let me grab something. Oh, Rita's going good night. Night, night, Rita. Good night. So I've got these papers that I bought. This one's a little different than what I showed you before. And this is a marble effect. Marbury marble. And one of the papers, as soon as one of you figures out what I did, I want you to speak up. So these are the marble patterns that they have in this. Isn't that cool? There's the paper that I used. You get 2 sheets of each, and this stuff is thick. Anybody figure out what I did? Really pretty patterns. I love this set. Geode looks like. So Wanda says you cut it out of the paper, out of this paper, and applied it to the picture. Nope. Close but no cigar. Okay, let me show you what I did. Let me show you what I did. Ashley says traced it. Okay, anybody else have any guesses? Nope, didn't trace it. Okay. Anybody else have any guesses? All right. I know I printed out an extra piece. Hold on. You're going to look at that a minute. Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, there it is. Here we go. So here's my piece. I'm going to show you on one segment of it, and then we're going to color this. So here's my cutting board mat. You can guess while I'm doing this before I actually do it. Anybody want to guess? So this is a cutting tool from Fiskars. Now this came in a sticker set that I bought years and years and years ago. And it's got this little round disky thing, and then in the center is this knife. We're doing this picture here. This is from Hello Autumn, Damita Victoria. I don't know if you can find this tool. I just dug it up out of my closet. So I have this tool. I have my little rotator cutting tool with the rotating blade on the bottom. And I also have my X-Acto knife. And I have, let me see, get that put away. And I have my slice knife. So this is how I did it. I'm going to do the jug. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. All right, let me move this for you. And what I did is I took my cutting knife and I cut out just inside the edge. And you can still guess on how I did this, although it should become evident very quickly. Any more guesses? Now, what I do when I'm cutting is I cut a little bit further than the image that I'm trying to cut out. It just makes it easier. And it really doesn't take that long. Now, you will run into some intricate parts here. And this is on cardstock that I've printed in my printer. But that should not matter. You can go ahead and cut out the paper directly from the coloring book as well. And actually will probably be easier. Zoom in. Now, I've found when I'm doing things like these silly flowers, is it's easier to go into the crotch where they come together, and then come out and then just pull out your cut. And I am being careful to leave the line, if I can, of the original coloring. And then I'm going to carefully poke this out. Now I'm going to show you with a piece of cardstock that I have that's already trimmed. Zoom out. There you go. I'm just going to put that little square piece of paper behind there. Zoom out. What do you think? And the neat thing is you can move it around to any portion of the paper that you have. You can turn it and you'll get all sorts of different effects. See that? I really like that swirl. So I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to take a little bit of glue. Hold on here. Let me figure out roughly what I want. I like that. I like that. And I'm going to take my scissors and cut that square out. Now, I probably could have, well, that's all right. I wish Maddie were here. She'd go nuts, I think, with this idea. Now, guys, don't throw your scraps away, okay? So get yourself a Ziploc bag, like a gallon bag. And save your scraps. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother to cut it down any further than that. So let me get my glue. And for the moment, I'm going to tack this down because I want to make sure that that particular segment that I liked shows up. So I'm actually applying it to my finger. And gluing that on there. Now, I want to show you something really neat. I think you'll like this. So let me flip this over. There you go. Now, I'm a little bit ahead of the game because I've got my paper, my blue paper, glued a little further. I mean, it's up right here where I need to cut out some more. But that's fine because I'm going to do this. I did it in this order because I wanted to show you this. But what you need to do is cut out your entire piece. Good night, Linda. And we're going to color this. Zoom in. Zoom in. Now, I don't want you to cut this. I don't want you to do this in the same order that I did. I just did this for demonstration purposes. And actually what I'm going to do, hindsight being 20/20, I'm going to leave this jar the way it is. So don't worry about this little rough patch where I started to cut. I'm just doing a change because I want to show you this. Now, make sure that you understand the order of how we do this. I would have colored this first and then put this in. And I would have left this jar, and I'm going to do this wood plank area here uncolored. So I'm just doing it this way to show you the mechanics of it. Everybody's straight on that. Zoom out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down to this because I want to show you something else with a different paper. Rhonda, what do you think? And guess what, guys? If you have plain wrapping paper, which is what this stuff is here, you can use this stuff as well. It doesn't have to be your scrapbook paper. So we have all sorts of designs that we can work from. Recognize this one? So I think what I'm going to do is I'll do the this bottom part with wrapping paper so you can see that. So bear with me. So Wanda, you were mostly right, but instead of cutting out and putting it on top, I cut it out and put it underneath. All right, let me locate my knife here. Cute idea for Christmas presents? How do you mean, Ashley? Now, when you cut out, I want you to still use your paper, you know, do this like you're coloring. And stick with me here to watch this. On coloring pages, if you cut out presents and use Christmas wrapping paper, yeah. Yes. So that's what you meant, in like Christmas books, exactly. Like the presents that I just did. I was so tempted to do this on my other piece, and I thought, well, no. Because I want to show you this in its entirety. When you were saying, Ashley, on Christmas presents, I thought you meant like real Christmas presents. I just wasn't following that you meant Christmas presents and coloring books. So again, on these bothersome little leaves, zoom in. Now, if you have El Cheapo wrapping paper that is very thin, which some of it is, all you have to do is glue. You were expecting me to read your mind. Oh, yeah, I'm, yep. Yep. My bad. Yeah, I mean, I was really itching to do that on that last piece. I'll tell you, I kept thinking, gosh, that would look so cute. Now, again, take your time because you do want your line to be there. Oh, so what I was saying, if you have cheap Christmas paper, wrapping paper, then get, you know, like an Amazon box or a cardboard box, one of the thinner ones, and cut out a little bit of the cardboard and put your cardboard behind the paper. But I'll show you in a second how this is going to work. So when you go to the dollar store and you see some really neat paper for $1, have at it. Okay, let me poke this out. But I want you guys to hang with me if you're not in a hurry, because I want to show you how this is going to work with the wrapping paper and how cute it's going to look. Oh, come on. Now, some of you may have issues with being able to see the detail, and that's where you can buy one of those lights that have the circular bulbs and the circular light inside that bulb. This is going to look really pretty. All right. Now, if you don't have a slice knife, let me get my regular X-Acto here. Go ahead and use that. Now, if you've got a teeny tiny area like this, what I do is I will cut it into slices. And then I'll just push them out. And either you can push them out or you can pull them up. Just whatever it takes to get those little pieces of paper out of there. Now, in some cases, it's going to be tedious, like I said, to do this. So put a movie on in the background or some nice music. And cut away. And sometimes what I do is I'll just push that cut paper towards the back and I'll peel it out or cut it out. There we go, got it. All right. Oh, I don't know if it's really patience. To me, this is fun because I'm anticipating how this little puppy's gonna look. Now, if you're cutting little circles like this, just roll the paper around and just change your angles, your slice angle. You'll figure it out. Hey, if you think I had patience for this, or have patience for this, you know, you saw that previous one I showed you with the ducks that had all those little tall reeds in there, the tall grass. Now that's patience. So will you still add depth to it like shadows? Yeah. Around the outside, but not on the paper itself. So what you're asking me is, will I color on the paper? No. I'll say a qualified no. I got to see how the paper reacts. So the answer is a qualified no. And honestly, guys, it really doesn't take that long to do this. Excuse my hand. Oh, that looks cool. Ashley, I'm going to answer your question right now. So here's a piece of scrap that I've got. I'm going to take a blue pencil, a dark blue pencil. Let me see if I can do that. Yep, there you go. Look at that. See that? So the answer is yes. What do you think of them apples? And I'll just get lighter and lighter and lighter as I go out. Smart girl, Ashley. So the answer is, if the paper will accept it, yes, I would definitely do that. Now I'm just doing a real quick job here, so don't hold me to it. This is just a demonstration. Oh, look at that. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Not blended, but you get the idea. Questions, comments? Oh, yeah. So you better believe that I will add depth to it. Does that answer your question, Ash? Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. All right, a couple more little segments, and then I'm going to show you this with the wrapping paper. You still with me, Ashley? Now, if you're cutting something and you accidentally cut it off, like if your knife slips or something, don't go crazy about it. So obviously I'm going to run over time a little bit, but I want you to see this. And notice how I'm keeping my knife point in the paper sometimes and just rotating my paper. Again, whatever method works for you, use it. Now, my knee-jerk reaction to doing this is to color your page first. But if you don't want to do that, you can do your cutout first. And then do your coloring. Now, the advantage to doing your cutouts first and putting your paper on is because when you put your paper on, that paper is going to dictate color, right? And you'll work off of that. Or you just set your paper aside that you know that you're going to use and color your piece accordingly. All right. Y'all still with me here? Zoom out. Okay, this little segment here, zoom in, zoom in. I don't know why this little bar is here, because these bands are going this way. So I'm going to ignore that. Ashley says, yep, already planning ideas. So Ashley, what are you thinking about right now with this? Oops, don't want to cut that leaf. And Ashley, I have a favor to ask you and anyone else. If you use a technique that I show you, please, please, please reference the broadcast, will ya? When you post in the group. And if your friends ask you where you learned it, please tell them and encourage them to join. Good night, Wanda. Good night, Wanda. Oh, Ashley, that's great. She says she does links to group if I show them on finished pages on my YouTube. Yeah, you know, if you yeah, just say learned a really neat, or ILene demonstrated a really neat technique, and show them what you did with it, and just say to learn more. You know, don't give away exactly how it was done. Okay, hold on. I got a little piece that's being wonky here. There we go. I do not do these broadcasts to get more people, to get money. Like I said, I do not get paid for this at all. I do it because I want a place for people to go and enjoy themselves and have a good time. Okay, 2 more little cutouts and we're done. Now, see this little floppy thing? Yes, they're a little bit of aggravation to cut out, and they're not cut out perfectly, which really in the scheme of things doesn't matter. Because when you go to color, that'll take care of most of the oopsies. But I really want you to see how cool this is going to look with simple wrapping paper. So the point that I'm trying to make about getting members into this group is you're not doing me the favor. You're doing the favor for people to get in here and have fun and relax and laugh. And I've also told you that if you put books into my hands, I mean, Ashley, you said you had something in mind. I'll show you different ways to color those too. Okay. Hang with me, guys. It'll be worth it. Da, da, da. And remember, when you're cutting circles like this, cut a tangent line, move a little, cut another tangent line, and eventually you'll have that circle cut out. Am I close enough for you guys to see how I'm doing this? Okay, tangent line, boom. Tangent line, boom. Somebody needs to let me know if I need, excuse me, to come in closer. Da, 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 da. And sometimes I'll just cut up like this and pull my piece out. It gives me a feeling of accomplishment. Thank you, Steph. Oh, I think this is going to be, I can't wait to show you this, guys. And see, when you're cutting on this, which of course be cutting on a mat, as you've got your knife in, I just spin it. And that's why it goes so quick. But you know, you got to evaluate your piece and see how it's going to work for cutting out. All right, let me get my brush and brush that out. Almost done. And sometimes what I'll do, see how I cut this way for this line, and I've got several lines that are in that direction. I'll just go ahead and pre-cut those. That works too. Whatever you need to do to make it work for you, have at it. And that's why this doesn't bother me too much. Vicky's getting restless. She knows I'm going to be done in a few minutes. I told you that story that she waits and listens for my closing remarks and then comes up and gives me those puppy dog eyes and asks for a treat, which lately have been iced oatmeal cookies. And look at it this way. I've taught you guys how to incorporate boo-boos in your work. If you cut yourself and get a little blood on it, find a way to incorporate it. You know I would. Hey, you get a little DNA in your work, you know? Oh, yay. I think that's my last piece. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. There we go. Okay, I've got one more teeny tiny spot in here. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Now, I know it may seem silly, but again, here's a little teeny tiny spot that's going to show through. And when all is said and done, when you put that paper behind it, it's going to show up, small as it is, and it's going to make your piece look really cool. I have got to get new X-Acto knives. This one's old and probably a bit dull. And if you need something to pick out those little pieces that get stuck, get some tweezers. Okay. So I'm going to lay this on my tabletop. I mean, look at that already. Do you see it? Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. There you go. You see it? What do you think? I can also use some of my other paper here. Oh, I think I like that better. I think I like this design better. Because remember, we're going to be coloring in all the flowers. And I'm going to make a slight revision to what I told you earlier about using like an Amazon box to reinforce this. You don't need that strength paper. Use your cardstock. So forget what I said earlier. Zoom out. Now I am going to use the and this is wrapping paper. Now here's some of my mixed media paper. Look at that. What do you think of that? For that matter, we could turn it. Let me turn the whole thing. Do you like that? Yes, no, maybe. I think that's really cool. So you get two pages of every pattern that's on there. Oh, Ashley says maybe. Okay. There's an interesting paper. That's right, Rhonda. I know this is the book you have. That's why I pulled it. Already thinking of you, darling. Isn't that neat? Rusty? See? Just move it around. Here's another pattern. I kind of like this one too. Peeling paint. I mean, there are just so many. And you guys get the idea. Oh, Rhonda, I'm sorry. I'd hate to cut up this one because that's a heart, but, you know, here's a nice wood pattern. So, you get the idea, guys. I mean, just tons of stuff. And again, it doesn't have to be this paper that you buy from Amazon. It can be wrapping paper. So, I'm going to use the wrapping paper because I promised you that I would. So let me open this up and get one of my sheets. You guys still hanging with me? So I think I'm just going to cut out this little corner that I need. rather than sacrifice the whole sheet. Let me see here. So what I would then do, on the back of your paper, take a pencil and just trace up a couple of your lines so that you get a rough idea of how big you need to make this. You don't have to trace everything. There we go. And then just take your scissors. Be sure to cut enough overlap so that you get a decent glue job on the back. But that you don't interfere with anything else. Rhonda, you still hanging with us, or did you need to leave? She might have left. Okay, you get this out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and place my paper. That looks pretty cool. Okay, Rhonda, good. But you know what? I just noticed something here. I think this looks better off to the side than it does straight up and down. Okay, I'll save this. Bear with me. My bad. I failed to tell you this. I mean, I did earlier, but I didn't do it. So place your pattern the way that you want it. And then go ahead and trace up your lines. Lightly in pencil, but dark enough that you can see. And then go ahead and cut out your piece. And my apologies. So do not trace it on the back of your pattern, trace it on the front so that you know what you're cutting out. Sorry, guys. And then what you do is you just move it around until you're happy with it. So move that up just a tad. And then pick up your paper and flip it over. Get your trusty glue. Almost done, guys. and then start placing it on there. And get as close to the edge as possible of your design. So I'm going to put a little in the middle here. And remember those little delicate berries that I had? Hit the back of those. And get those secured. Now, ultimately, I don't care what method that you use, you know, to put your stuff on the back. I'm just showing you the way that I'm doing it and what I recommend. There you go. Voila. What do you think? And that little tiny area that we had that I cut out that I said take the detail on, it got important. Now, a couple more things and then I'm done. I'm going to take a little drop of glue here. And my toothpick. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, do you see where this little strap is right here? So just take your toothpick and get up underneath there with your glue. And glue it down. Now, the neat thing about Elmer's is that it dries completely clear. But remember, if you're going to shade, you've got to get that glue off of your paper. Because it'll dry as a hard surface, you know, the glue surface. And then you'll have a problem shading around it. Oops, don't mean to keep moving you. And if it gets pesky and tries to pull up, press it. Don't rub it, press it. You'll figure that out. You guys are smart. Okay. A little more glue underneath my second strap. And we're okay there because I was able to hit that with the glue. All right, zoom out. There you go. And if you see some little areas that are sticking up on your edges, zoom in, zoom in, this little guy right there? Bend him up a little bit. Get your glue underneath there. Yes, you can bend the paper because it'll stick. And glue them back down. So I'm literally lifting that pattern up, and then I'll go back down and I'll stick it down, and then dab up with my paper towel. And it looks like I pretty much got everything. Here, let me show you. One more thing, the little pumpkin. So again, I'm going to bend it up. I mean, that goes contrary to what you think you need to do, right? So I'm going to bend that up. Dab my glue on there. And push it down. And be sure that you don't leave any glue on top of your paper because that you're going to color on, because, you know, that's where you're going to color. And then just check for any, you know, any points that you missed it. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Now, it looks like I got a little pencil mark on this side too. So I'm going to take my Sarah, zoom in, zoom in. See where I got my pencil here? I'm going to very, very lightly dab that pencil off with my gummy eraser. Now, you probably wouldn't have noticed it unless I said something. But you don't want to use an electric eraser. And what you can do is, you know, check your manual eraser and see if that works. You know, just do it carefully. Yeah, no, we can't use a manual eraser. Gotta use your gummy eraser. Now, if you get any wayward marks on your piece from something happening with it, I don't know what that mark is. I don't know if that's me or the paper. Just incorporate it into the design. All right, anybody, I'm done. Anybody have any questions or comments? Yes, ma'am, we did pray for Tammy. Zoom out. Zoom out. And now I'm going to remind you, see the paper here? It's fine. She sounded like that she was nervous. So our paper, zoom in. I don't know if you can see this, but I can see my finger underneath there running it. This is why when all is said and done, you're going to take cardstock and you'll glue that to the back. So that'll be when we're absolutely done with this. Zoom out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you had fun. I hope it's sparking some ideas for you. And I hope you learned something. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Love you guys. Yes, we did pray for Tammy. I know she's nervous. The heels first. Oops. She'll be fine. Guys, love you. Joyous, joyous coloring. Continue to be kind to each other. I'm excited about this project. Alright guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. We had a lot of fun tonight, and I will be working on this project, so same time, same place, tomorrow night. Oh, look at all those hearts. And please, guys, share this broadcast to your timeline. All right. Take care. Good night, good night, good night. Bye.